Okay, so the season of Discovery comes out today in like 3 hours, and everybody's super excited for it. So am I. Um, it'll give me a reason to go back to the classic again. But there's some things I don't like about it, and I was gonna do like a whole BlizzCon reaction, but instead I'm just gonna react to this like 3 minute video that they put up. They let Platinum WoW do it, but they put up this 3 minute video explaining all the features and whatnot, and I just wanna I'm gonna like pause it and stuff and explain the stuff I love and the stuff I absolutely hate. So here we go.
The drums of war sound again, and the newest experience being added to Classic WoW is the Season of Discovery. A familiar.
I think the name is stupid. Discovering runes and like 4 new monsters is not discovery. If they wanted discovery, they should have made like a whole new zone, like Gilneas or I don't know. Everybody's like classic plus, classic plus. They should have done of like a classic plus light. Do like one new zone. Hyjal. You got a whole zone sitting there that does nothing. Right? Could have put a Hyjal and had a Hyjal raid or Karazhan Crypts, which they're talking about doing already, so I don't know. I hate the name. This should have been like season of rune crafting or I don't know.
Yet different classic experience which focuses on exploration, open world activities, and wild, never before seen player progression with unique gameplay. I'm Platinum WoW, and let's uncover all of the cool new features in this unique classic experience. First, let's start with the discovery aspect of the season. All around Azeroth, we see our favorite locations, monsters, quests, loot, and experiences, but with some unique twists, like hidden areas, never before seen quests, and new monsters.
Okay, they say this, but I want to know how many there are. Because I feel like they're hyping this up and it's going to be like 4 quests. One's going to be like unlock your first rune. And then the new monsters, it's going to be like they're going to up the spawn rate of the existing rares and then add like 4 new rares and like Stranglethorn or somewhere where they're so inconvenient that it doesn't matter.
Hidden amongst these little discoveries, you might find the
I don't like this at all. This right here, this bothers me. The fact that he found a rune off like a Scorpid at the beginning. So are you telling me that also have like a random chance to drop? Because if some guy logs in and gets all his runes off like the first 7 mobs he kills, I'm now at a huge disadvantage until I can find them all too. So I don't like that they showed this as being what the rune system, like they're saying you gotta find them around. It better not just be random drops.
Season of Discovery's most exciting feature, runes. Runes are items that you can engrave on your armor, which kind of work like a secondary enchantment.
Okay, so they stole this straight from Ascension, but they put their own twist on it where it doesn't cost you anything, you just put them on here. And that's great. I like how it's like an enchant, and I like how this doesn't get consumed. It's just kind of like it's like the Codex of Power or something from D4, where you just, once you get it, you have it. The only issue I have with this is the average player is so incredibly stupid, they're going to get a new item and forget to like rune it. And then they're just going to be playing Classic WoW again. So it's like you're not even engaging with the seasonal theme. Or there's going to be some guild who's like, we're only accepting people who don't equip any runes. It's like, just go play Era.
These runes can provide active or passive abilities from future expansions or entirely new ones that can change the playstyle of your class. Some examples include paladins with Avenger's Shield, priests summoning an army of void minions, or totally role-defining runes like warlocks, shamans, and rogues now being able to tank.
Okay, Warlocks and Shamans makes perfect sense. The player base has always wanted Metamorphosis to be like a permanent thing. Tanking Rogues, this is the worst. This needs to go. If they do like an actual Classic Plus after this, if it goes over well, no tanking Rogues. That makes no sense. I guess Healing Mage doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, but kinda now with the time stuff we know that's in Modern. This makes absolutely no sense.
or mages being able to heal with time magic. Another core feature of the Season of Discovery is level banded content. When the servers are first released, all
I hate this. Hate this. I understand leveling banding, some people love it, but the levels they chose suck. 25, 40, 50, and 60? And how long do they plan for this to go? If this lasts like a month or two, fine. But if this lasts like 3-4 months, oh my god, are you going to be bored after like the first month? I think it should be 30 and then 60. And then for people that are really, really, really neckbeards and want to get ahead, make the XP like 10 times slower so that you got a guy who's like level like, in this, I'll use their example. You got a guy who can get to like level 26 if he really wants and be ahead of the other people. Like make it like a soft banding. I mean, that's in the spirit of Classic, right? If you play more, you can do more stuff. Like, let him get to like 26 if he wants, but make it take a really long time until the new banding opens, and then make it 1 times again. I don't know, I hate the levels that they picked. I think the banding is stupid in general. There's going to be people who just wait until it's 60, because that's the content that they know, and then they're not going to engage with this until it's on its last phase. I don't know, they could have done the level banding better.
all players will have a max level of 25, and then over time it will be raised to 40, then 50, and finally 60.
The only one that people care about, 60. I don't know. There's so many people I talk to who love this, and I can't stand it. I'm going to be so bored being 25 with my 15 talent points.
Rank and honor.
The unique thing about this is that for each level bracket, there will be new, never-before-seen endgame content that players can participate in.
I hate this too, that they're calling it endgame. It's not endgame, it's just you took Black Fathom Deeps and scaled it. And it's not even anything new. You're using the old models. Imagine if they ported like a new model in here. It doesn't change anything, it just makes it 10-man Black Fathom Deeps. There's going to be people who run this and get their BIS and think that's like all this great new stuff, and this is a $60 billion company, and the biggest thing that came up was Black Fathom Deep's raid. I'm sorry, but it rubs me the wrong way.
Level 25, the Black Fathom Deeps dungeon will be transformed into a 10-player raid, with new bosses, mechanics, and loot.
Also, I guess my question with this is, so is normal Black Fathom Deeps just, like, zoinked out of the game? And if that's the case, like, why can't it just be a toggle? What if I want to run actual Black Fathom Deeps?
Each level bracket will have a new raid, and are aimed to be approachable to most players, but interesting enough to provide...
No, it's not. They're going to make it hard because this is a solved game. And then for like the first week, nobody's going to be able to do this. People are going to complain because they're stupid and they stood in the big acid pool or whatever. They're going to be like, I don't know why I died, because you stood in the fucking fire, like always.
A challenge with
Classic Andes, dare I say.
a difficulty akin to the original raids of Classic WoW. But when you're traveling to the new Black Fathom Deeps raid, be careful, as the contested zone of Ashenvale is now rife with conflict. Another new feature...
Alright, let me preface this. PvP is for absolute fucking nerds. I say it in every video when PvP is mentioned. But this actually looks and sounds cool for people who do like PvP. It's like they're taking like Arathi Basin or something and like putting it outside.
Feature is Battle for Ashenvale. This new feature transforms the zone into a world PvP.
This actually has the potential to bring us like new battlegrounds in modern and everything. Like, what if this goes over well and then they make like the Battle for Ashenvale and put it in like the War Within or something?
Hotspot. where Horde and Alliance players will battle over territory and defeat enemy war masters and leaders in something similar to Alterac Valley. With this event, you
Oh, they just said Alterac Valley, not Arathi Basin. But still, like, the fact that we now have an alternative to, like, actual battlegrounds, they need to do more of this.
earn reputation with the Silverwing Sentinels or the Warsong Outriders, and obtain new rewards like mounts that can only be ridden in.
I don't like the mounts that are only usable in Ashenvale. And they said they go 50%, so they're like better than a normal. No, they're even worse than a normal mount. Just make them like 60%, and then they're using the old models. And then I absolutely hate, like, there's going to be a dichotomy of people who have it and people who don't. And the people who have it are just going to, like, have an advantage because they'll be able to get the objectives faster. I don't know. I don't like the idea of zone mounts, but okay.
Ashenvale, new helms, and weapons.
Ooh, a helm at level 25. Might be worth PvP, boys, even though I hate PvP, but here we go.
This is just a brief summary of the content being introduced in the Season of Discovery, and there will be so much more to explore within the future phases of these seasonal servers. Altogether, this experience...
I'm with Asmongold and everybody else who said they don't like the idea of seasonal servers. I know people crave and want fresh, but I don't like that your progress gets lost. And like what happens is these characters that rely on these runes, like your tank warlock is going to be transferred to Era, presumably, and then you geared to be a tank this entire time, so now you just look like an idiot warlock when it goes to Era, right? I don't know. I think seasons work okay in Diablo, but they don't work good in this at all. Again, $60 billion company. They should just, at the end of a season, they should combine all that stuff into one server and then just let that server run indefinitely. And then, because then people who love Season of Discovery can always just go back and play it. They don't look stupid because they aren't transferred to Era. And I mean, it just gives people the option. It splits up the player base more. The player base is so split already. That argument is invalid at this point.
Experience is about Azeroth being the main character. It's about exploring undiscovered lands, creating unique builds for your character, battling the enemy faction and world PvP events, and delving into new raids with your guildmates. Now is the perfect time to return to the world of Azeroth and explore the familiar yet different lands in the Season of Discovery.
Today, baby. The only thing is I hope it is truly different. And I hope they're hyping all this hype they put behind it. Again, I hope it's not just upping the rares that already exist and then adding like 4 more in a cave somewhere in Stranglethorn that like is so inconvenient to go to that it's like, why did you even bother putting it in? The runes are awesome. The level bending sucks. The zone mounts are great for somebody who like wants a PvP to get that little bit of like, you know, I want to say advantage, but that's not it, because it's like it's going to become like a requirement, right? Yeah, no, I think that's my thoughts on that. It's awesome. I'm going to be live playing it when it goes live. I hope the next season is kind of a combination of these things. Like, the Season of Mastery was faster leveling. And this is like, again, he said the world's the main character again. I hope they learn from these 2 seasons and season 3 is like, should I say 4? It was hardcore. Hardcore wasn't really a season, but also they need to make that a toggle in these seasons. Just have a guy you go talk to that makes you hardcore. I mean, I know they have the Soul Iron, but just make it a guy you go talk to that says like, put him at the starting zone of every zone. Just have it be where you talk to this guy and he's like, as long as you've gained no points of experience or anything, done anything yet, you talk to this guy and he just makes you hardcore, so that when you die, that try again or like release spirit thing comes up. Yeah, I think Blizzard's learned some lessons from these things, and now is the time. The hype is as big as it's gonna get, and I feel like season 3 can be like the most insane version of WoW we've ever had. Um, Take out stupid things that make no sense though. Tank Rogue, not with it. Tank Shaman makes perfect sense. They have the element of Earth. Tank Warlock, it makes some sense, like because they're metamorphosized, and it's something everybody always wanted. Like they didn't want Tank Warlock specifically, but they always wanted Metamorphosis to be like perma. So they got what they wanted and a little more. All right, I'm gonna stop yapping. See you all in the season of Discovery.